Hello. So I have been really inspired lately by a book I'm reading in my book club. It's a book everyone has heard of. It is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. So I think people loosely know what it's about. It's basically about a Swiss scientist that makes this creation, this monster, and it goes awry, right? But the thing about the book, besides how beautifully written, it is that it's inspiring me is just how it's so relevant today to the technologies that we're embarking on and using. And I'm speaking more along the lines of technology in terms of artificial intelligence and also things that we see in biomedical sciences like CRISPR, Cas9, genome editing, things like that. So at the time, the book was called Frankenstein with the byline, The Modern Prometheus. So if you think about the story of Prometheus, this again was a scientist of sorts during the Greco-Roman era who bestowed light upon man against the wishes of the gods, and it backfired on him, and he was punished for it. This book, like thinking about the impacts specifically of AI and artificial generalized intelligence, or all these things that supposedly help and assist us in life, it makes me think that a lot of these tech companies, the analogy today is like they're the digital Prometheus. So they've given human beings these type of technologies. AI, we know from the book I mentioned last time, which was The Age of AI by Henry Kissinger, has in some ways abilities that are beyond human perception. And there's two distinct cases of that with the chess playing AI, and AI that can find antibiotics just by doing like a cursory screen, right? So in a lot of ways, there's a parallel there, and like very much Prometheus or Dr. Frankenstein in the book, he created something that he did not quite understand the consequences of until it came to haunt him. On a similar vein, this is the things that we're seeing with AI, or I think that we're seeing with AI, insofar as we've given people this technology that's supposedly supposed to help their lives, but in a lot of ways, it's making them less cognitively aware. I'm trying to be PC. I really want to say stupid, but I guess there you have it. I've said stupid. But in a lot of ways, the over-reliance on these type of technologies is atrophying the way people think, the way people process information. It has the ability, if not regulated and not fully understood, to make decisions for human beings that perhaps are not the best in terms of human intellectual processing. It may be good in terms of efficiency, but things that bestow meaning on human life, such as what you do, what you contribute, how you spend your time, how you overcome challenges in terms of learning or skills or anything that you can think of. It doesn't even have to be anything necessarily intellectual, but when you have an element that can do all of these things for you, what meaning does your life have, right? So it's very interesting to think about the impacts of technology and how even back in the 1800s when Marie Shelley wrote this book, and even that is a feat in and of itself. This book was written basically on a dare, and Marie Shelley was like 18 or 19 years old when she did it, right? And she created the whole science fiction genre. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. But basically, it's just interesting how relevant these things are to life today. So I've read, it's a relatively short book, and to me it is pretty straightforward and easy to read. It's very beautiful the way the words are put together, but despite that, I find it easy to read. I am now on starting volume 3, and as we know just from movies and like the tale of Frankenstein, there is a bride. Like, he does ask for something, for some mercy from his maker, essentially saying, hey, you've given me this and you owe it to me. You've given me this gift in a way of life that turned out to be a curse because everyone is scared of me. but you owe it to me now to rectify that by giving me a companion. I think of that in the modern sense of we've given the world, or these tech giants have given the world AI, social media, and in a lot of ways, it has already crippled people, or it's promising to cripple people in terms of what they do for work. So now they're saying AI can code, AI can do these things. I was on LinkedIn and they said that there's startups that are trying to make AI scientists, right? So, it poses this threat to people's economy and people's occupations. And these are things that, as a human being, I know we tell ourselves work is just work, but a lot of people's vocation is something that they're good at and what they take pride in. So these new technology is risking ripping that away from people. And now the question is, what do these tech giants, what do these digital Prometheuses owe it to the general public, in terms of, if you're going to use AI to do the work that people used to do for a vocation and to support their families, what are you going to give us in return to make up for that deficit? I know people have talked about universal basic income. Sam Altman has been a proponent of it. For me personally, I don't think that's enough. I'm a person that likes to work for my money. I mean, everyone, it sounds nice to say, oh, you don't, I would love to just get money for doing nothing, or just be rich and lounge around. I'm not that type of person. I get bored easily. I like to apply myself and I like to challenge myself. So what do you do in terms of, work is not just about feeding yourself and putting clothing on your back. For a lot of people, and I know for me specifically, that work is also a vocation. It's also an outlet to express the limits of my own intellect and my own creativity in a scientific sense. So this just all got me thinking. I feel like I'm going to probably start a Substack so I can start writing down these thoughts, because these things are just too long and you can go too in depth, and a video, especially a video on TikTok, is just not going to do it service. So for all of you out there that are interested in technology and its implications, I would honestly recommend you pick up the classic Frankenstein. This is the Penguin Classic, $10 at Barnes & Noble, or buy it from your local bookseller, and read it, contemplate it, and see how it applies to what our lives are like today.